Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take a whole stack of information and, well, really boil it down to what matters for you. Today, we're taking a really close look, a deep dive into how a very specific place works. The Abdul Latif Al-Fawzan Autism Center, our source. It's a detailed Q&A presentation that basically maps out their entire business model. And our mission today is to unpack how a center doing such, frankly, vital work manages to operate and, importantly, how it sustains itself. It's not just about the services, right? It's the structure behind it all, the strategy that lets them make a real lasting impact for kids with autism and their families. Think of it less like a standard business plan and more like a blueprint for a really comprehensive care. So let's start right at the beginning. What exactly is the Abdul Latif Al-Fawzan Autism Center? What's its core purpose?
Right. Well, at its heart, it's a pretty comprehensive educational and rehabilitation center. Its main goal, really, is to support and empower children who have autism spectrum disorder. They do this through specialized educational and therapeutic services. And crucially, it's not just for the kids. The families are a huge part of it, too. They seem really committed to leading the way in developing sustainable, advanced services and, keeping their values central to everything they do.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. Who are the specific groups the center is really aiming its services at? It sounds like it's more than just the children diagnosed with autism.
Absolutely, yeah. So the primary group is, of course, children with a confirmed autism diagnosis, but they also work with what they call BUDS. That's their term for very young children, where autism is suspected.
Buds, interesting. Early intervention, basically.
Exactly, get in there early. And they also mention mixed cases, which means children who might have autism alongside other disabilities. And as I mentioned, the families are considered a primary target group too, just as important.
Makes sense.
Beyond them, you've got supporting groups, people close to individuals with autism, mainstream schools they work with for inclusion, other autism centers for collaboration, their own staff, obviously, and the wider community.
That's quite a network. Now, here's something really interesting. I saw the age ranges. How do they structure that?
Yeah, they have a very clear structure there. The nursery or bud stage, that's for the little ones, ages 2 to 3.
Okay.
Then comes kindergarten or early intervention, which covers kids from 3 to 6 years old, a really critical period.
Definitely.
And finally, the primary stage caters to children aged 6 to 12, and that includes both boys and girls.
Got it. So with all these different groups and ages, how do they actually interact with each one? What are the practical day-to-day strategies they use?
Right, they have pretty tailored approaches. For the students, it's all about adapted educational curricula. They use specific strategies like visual learning aids and augmented or alternative communication methods.
AAC, right? Like devices or picture systems?
Exactly, whatever works best for the individual child. They also integrate enriching activities to help build social skills, and there's constant progress monitoring.
Okay, and for the families?
For families, they run training workshops. Empowering parents is key. They offer psychological and educational consultations for support, build partnerships so the support continues at home, and hold guidance sessions, either one-on-one or in groups.
So real wraparound support.
Definitely. Then for the broader community, they're doing awareness campaigns, promoting integration into schools and jobs, working with government and private groups for sustainable support, and even developing programs to tackle bullying. It's quite outward-facing.
Impressive scope.
And internally, for their staff, there's ongoing training, individualized plans for each student guide your work, regular meetings to discuss progress, and a real focus on creating a supportive work environment for the teachers and therapists themselves.
Okay, so we understand who they serve and kind of how they engage. Let's pivot to the engine room, the day-to-day stuff. What are the main activities the center actually does to deliver these services?
Well, their core activities are quite broad, as you'd expect. First, providing those adapted educational curricula we talked about, tailored individual programs are key. Then there's a big focus on behavior modification and communication development, using those strategies like visual supports, AAC, specific behavior techniques. They also run dedicated social and recreational activities. These aren't just fun. They're designed to enhance social skills and interaction.
Crucial for autism.
Absolutely. Then there's the support and guidance for families, the workshops, the guidance sessions, parent training. That's a major activity stream. They also do rigorous monitoring and evaluation with regular meetings to give feedback and recommendations to students and families.
Keeping everyone on the same page.
Exactly. And finally, a lot of coordination with external parties, connecting families with other rehabilitation services or resources they might need outside the center itself.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like it requires a lot of specialized resources, both people and things. So What does that mean operationally? What are the key resources the center depends on?
Yeah, the resource base is pretty multifaceted. First off, highly specialized staff. You've got teachers, behavior specialists, speech therapists, occupational therapists,
Yeah.
a whole team.
Experts in their fields.
Right. Then specialized educational and technical equipment. This includes the tailored curricula, but also assistive devices, specific software, things like that. Their facilities need equipped halls and classrooms specifically designed for different therapies, behavior, OT, speech therapy rooms.
So the physical space is tailored too.
Definitely. They also rely on partnerships with universities and research centers, particularly for staff training and staying up to date with research. They use digital educational platforms and electronic monitoring systems quite heavily, it seems, for efficiency and tracking.
Makes sense in this day and age.
And finally, they develop their own knowledge. Content, awareness materials, media content, plus they provide technical support. So they're creating resources as well as using them.
It's clear they can't do all this in isolation. Who are the key partners they collaborate with to pull off this big mission?
Their partner network is really extensive, which kind of reflects how complex autism support is. It includes government entities, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, other bodies that support people with disabilities. That's crucial for backing and sometimes funding.
Right, the official channels.
Then universities and research centers for that specialized training and research link we mentioned. They also work with various charitable and nonprofit associations that focus on special needs.
Leveraging the whole sector.
Exactly. Technology companies and the private sector come in too, offering technical help or sometimes financial support for specific programs. Hospitals and medical centers are important partners for diagnostics and specialized medical input. And interestingly, they partner with other autism centers, sharing experiences, best practices. It helps everyone improve.
That collaborative aspect seems really strong. Okay, let's talk about the practical side, the finances. What does the center's cost structure look like? Where does the money actually go?
Yeah, the costs cover quite a few areas. A big chunk is operational costs. Staff salaries, which are significant given the specialized skills needed maintaining the facilities, utilities, buying educational tools and tech.
The day-to-day running costs.
Pretty much. Then you have technical costs, specifically for maintaining and upgrading their digital platforms, devices, and management systems. They also allocate funds for marketing and awareness. Those campaigns and community events we talked about cost money.
Right. Outreach isn't free.
No. Then there are developmental and research costs. This covers staff training, developing new curricula or programs, maybe getting international certifications, investing in improvement. A really important one is student support costs. This includes aid programs, scholarships for students whose families can't afford the full fees. That speaks to their mission.
Accessibility, yeah.
And finally, the standard legal and administrative costs, licensing fees, legal advice, accounting, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's a pretty comprehensive list of expenses. So where does the money come from to cover all that? What are their main income streams?
They seem to have diversified quite well, which is smart for sustainability. First, there are tuition fees paid by the students' families.
The direct service fees.
Right. Then, government grants and official support from relevant authorities play a role. They also receive contributions from those charitable associations and nonprofits they partner with.
Okay.
Then, interestingly, they generate revenue from other educational activities and services, maybe workshops open to the public, special events, things beyond the core student programs.
So additional services they charge for.
Seems like it. And perhaps the most sort of entrepreneurial part is the sale of educational programs and specialized media that they've developed for dealing with autism spectrum disorder.
So they're packaging their expertise.
Exactly. It's this blend, direct fees, public support, charitable contributions, and then this element of selling their own developed resources. It's a pretty robust mix aimed at sustainability.
That is fascinating. So they've got this value they're creating, this model. How do they actually get that value out there? What channels do they use to reach the students, families, and the community?
They use a mix of channels to make sure they connect effectively. Digital platforms are big electronic learning platforms, apps for supporting and monitoring students and parents, makes things accessible.
Beyond the physical center.
Right. Then there's direct communication. Regular meetings with families and students, plus phone calls, emails, keeping those personal lines open. They use media quite actively, social media like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, but also traditional media outlets to get the word out more broadly.
Covering all bases.
Seems like it. And finally, community events are a key channel. Workshops, conferences, participating in things like World Autism Day, holding public seminars. That direct community engagement is vital for awareness and integration.
This whole deep dive, it's really laid bare just how sophisticated and integrated the model is at the Abdul Latif Al Fawzan Autism Center. It's clearly so much more than just service provision. It's like they've built this entire ecosystem.
Indeed, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Every piece seems designed to fit together to deliver these really high-quality, integrated services for the individuals with autism and, importantly, their families.
Mm,
It really rests on several pillars.
yeah.
Developing that top-tier educational and therapeutic system, building strong community partnerships for integration, making sure they're financially sustainable through those diverse streams, providing a genuinely supportive environment for their own staff, which is crucial for retention and quality, and then contributing significantly to community awareness while really empowering families.
Mm.
And this kind of makes you think, doesn't it? It raises a question, maybe for you listening. Given how the center blends services, community work, partnerships, and these diverse funding streams, how could a similar holistic model be applied elsewhere? Could you use this kind of blueprint to tackle other complex societal issues, maybe in education or healthcare or other social support areas where you need that mix of funding, collaboration, and different ways to engage people to make a real transformative difference?
That's definitely something to chew on long after this deep dive ends. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of how an organization can make a profound impact by thinking so holistically about its mission, its resources, and its place within the community.